Recipes for technical trading success in Cook's Kitchen.
Boom goes the crypto. Here we are looking at Bitcoin versus the US dollar breaking above 12,340 or so, this resistance that we saw in August. And the catalyst would be PayPal. PayPal launches new service enabling users to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrency. We talked about it last week in my in Cook's Kitchen. I did hey, why Square is Jamie Dimon's favorite mistake, and I went over some of the history, what Jamie wishes he would have done, that where Square did just about everything right in creating a digital ecosystem for small business. And I showed a really cool chart here. If you want to see who owns Bitcoin and and how Square fit into this, this is a website called BitcoinTreasuries.org, and they've built this table to track who owns what. And the big surprise was to learn that this little software company called MicroStrategy, with a market cap of a little over $1.5 billion, owns over 38,000 Bitcoins, which makes Square look like, it's a drop in the bucket for them, right? It's here's Square, market cap of, let's just call it 80 billion, and 4,700 Bitcoins, 50 million bucks, is less than 0.1% of the market cap. But I also showed the Square Bitcoin white paper. For them, it's not just about, and they've had, the Cash App has had access to buy and sell Bitcoin for 2 years now. But making the bigger stake for Square, for Jack Dorsey, was, a statement about, democratizing finance and having a digital, transparent currency that everyone in the world could access, which is what, that's Bitcoin's goal. So here was the Reuters story this morning, which I want to show because it highlights a few quotes from the CEO that I thought stood out. Dan Schulman. He says, "We are working with central banks and thinking of all forms of digital currencies and how PayPal can play a role." That's a pretty interesting statement. Working with central banks, that's plural, right? Around the world, which is, PayPal is a global company, very big in Asia, and probably, in South America and Africa now too. And, discussing how digital currencies can play a role. There was another good quote from here somewhere from him, I thought. But that basically sums it up. Now, what does the Federal Reserve have to do with this? Well, Federal Reserve has been in the news lately as they talk about plans for a digital dollar. Now, this is an article from August in Forbes by Jason Brett, who does a lot of their crypto and blockchain stuff. And Lael Brainerd has been sort of, heading the charge here in the research of what might be called a U.S. central bank digital currency, CBDC, which gets known by the moniker digital dollar. So they've been looking into this, and you heard Powell this past week talk about, hey, they're in no hurry. They're not making any big commitments right now, but they're doing the research, they're doing the work, because they know that this is going to be the future. Let's go back to this Bitcoin chart. So this is the daily view. Let's go to the weekly and just so we can put things in perspective. Here's our all-time high up here, nearly $20,000, almost like when gold spiked to 2,000 a few years back. And so here's the significance of the move this week. Launching above this resistance, 12.34 to as high as 12,800 this morning, and getting above the June 2019 resistance, which, we had these spikes up into 13,000. Those are clear targets right now, and there could be some resistance there, but it looks like Bitcoin is on its way back to the old highs. Here from I want to show, there's this new term out there called flippening, and this is in relation to physical gold, but Bitcoin and blockchain have introduced a whole new vocabulary to us. If you want to learn what Bitcoin halving is, Investopedia has a great article by Luke Conway where he explains it in real simple language, pretty jargon free. So it's not, if you're an experienced blockchain or Bitcoin person, this really won't interest you. You've probably examined halving from, 6 ways from Sunday, but I recommend this one on Investopedia. He even shows a good chart of prior Bitcoin halvings and why they're necessary. You get less of a reward for mining, which inevitably makes the digital currency more valuable, and we're seeing that occur. All right, what else did I want to show you here? So, Cointelegraph enjoyed the big news this morning. Bitcoin breaks above 12.3 after PayPal says Venmo will become a BTC wallet. Now, we don't know, I don't think we know if PayPal plunked down anything like Square did a couple weeks ago, 50 million. But it wouldn't be a surprise if they started to dabble. And again, it wouldn't be, with PayPal's market cap, it wouldn't be a big investment for them. But the idea is that eventually they will most likely take some kind of significant stake so that, how else can you be a bank unless you can transact the amounts that might be required? And for small business and investors, the amounts are going to be tiny. But I think it's bringing more and bigger institutions into the market, as you can see from this chart about who owns how much. As I talked about last week, you got, up here are basically the public companies, who have different reasons for investing in Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, the software company, to them, they just saw it as a good use of their cash. But also, I think because they are involved with things like global logistics, they see it as eventually a necessary currency to be able to transact if a company, corporation, institution wants to deliver or hold assets in something besides dollars or their native currency. But down here at the bottom half, you can see the biggest holders are the ETFs. So you got Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is the largest holder, has over 450,000 Bitcoins worth probably over 6 billion by now today. All right, what else did I want to show you here? If you're on Twitter and you're cruising around and you want to get the latest news, a guy like Pomp at A Pompliano is a good follow. I've seen him on CNBC before, but he's always bringing good content on his Twitter stream. And I think I also found, I mentioned the flippening. So let's talk about that. I mentioned, what is this term, the flippening? Well, that's kind of a fun new jargon among crypto crazies, where one guy looks at it as this is what's happening as, when does Bitcoin become more popular than gold? Now, in market cap wise, it's, they're not even close. Let's say the market cap of gold is 11, 12 trillion maybe. The market cap of Bitcoin is under 300 billion. So, they're not even close right now. But what's the trend going to be? Do people want to hold physical gold as their hedge on a currency or a store of value, or do they want the digital currency? And I think, even though the Fed has helped, the Fed has certainly helped gold inflate because we're printing so much money. And by the way, Jay Powell gave you a clue remember in that 60 Minutes interview when he was asked, and this was earlier in the year, where does the money actually come from? He goes, we print it digitally. And I thought that was a beautiful summary of where they're going. So even though physical gold has flown higher, digital gold is going to do a lot of catching up over the next few years, and pretty quick here. All right. So I wanted to show you this flippening idea. Well, it's just, I think I explained it well. I can't find the guy who talked about it, but Ryan Selkis is also a good follow on Twitter. He's just summing it up here. PayPal, 346 million users, 26 million merchants, 20th largest, quote, bank, unquote, by deposits. Between them, Square, and Grayscale, it's safe to assume that all remaining BTC will be hoovered up by public companies. I think that's probably a fairly accurate description of what is about to occur. And so I can't wait to see how this Bitcoin treasuries and publicly traded companies, how that evolves and what other names start to show up on here. Eventually we may see PayPal's name in here with their holdings and other corporations. When you have a tiny company like MicroStrategy, putting their cash reserves in here and then starting to view it as a reserve way to hold assets. I think you're going to start to see more corporations do it. All right, that's it for this week's Cook's Kitchen, and I think we're going to be talking a lot more about digital currencies in the coming year. All right, talk to you soon.